All right, so we're going to do a sample recording. This will be a project that we completed, and I kind of want to give the overview of it. I'm going to share my screen. Okay, so this is our Drip Jobs dashboard. I'll do a full video on this Drip Jobs setup as well, but for now, we're just going to go through, and this is a project that was already completed. So we've already sent the invoice, we already got paid on it. We crunched our numbers for job costing, and now we're going to do a review of the project. This project was kitchen cabinets, 2K polyurethane finish. We had one little built-in cabinet. Our notes in here, this one's basic, but we'll put detailed notes in here if we need to. Exclusions, we just have basic notes. So in here, we're not doing the floating shelves in the living room or any additional work not detailed in line item. Our kitchen cabinets, this is a generic description of what we do on every kitchen cabinet set. So this gets just auto-populated when we select our kitchen cabinets, 2K poly. So we're gonna full sand and cleaning in order to remove contaminants, scuff the surfaces for adhesion purposes. Full coat of undercoat will be sprayed as the bond coat and for proper coverage of finish coats. Patching, caulking, full sanding will be done after primer coat. Finish will be 2K polyurethane and color and sheen to be determined. We will lightly sand between coats with progressively finer sandpaper. Undercoater 1 to 2 coats, top coat 2 to 3 coats. Now this one just goes in on every single project. Now we do our pricing per square foot. $41.11 per square foot on the cabinets. So we'll literally measure, our top to bottom, underside, side panels, and that's a good square footage number for us. 29 square feet at $41.11 is $5303.19. Now we had a built-in cabinet as well. That's living room built-in cabinets, does not include floating shelves above the cabinets. 11 square feet, $41.11 a square foot, $452.21. Same description in here as our cabinet job. Now here's some photos. This is like a galley kitchen. It's pretty basic, but we were changing from black to some kind of an off-white. Here's the little built-in cabinet that we're doing. Kitchen cabinets other side. Kitchen cabinets. Now, when we sent this quote, client sees all this stuff, right? So they'll actually get it like this, right? So it has all of our info, all their info. This thing's all broken down by item, how we list it. They have their photos in there, terms and conditions, sign below. This is like the client portal. So they have, we have our insurance documents in here, our warranty, our workers' comp doc, license doc. In our miscellaneous documents, we just have other warranties in there. Links to reviews, links to visit the website, request another appointment. They can view their invoice or proposal here. Pretty neat setup. And I think Paint Scout does something like that as well, but I haven't looked into it. So anyhow, this is the project. Now, this was the breakdown here for job costing. Now, usually on these cabinet jobs, I just have 2 guys that do it. They'll spend 5 days. Typically, the 5th day will be a partial day. In this case, it was not. It was a full day. And I think, to be honest, on Fridays, my guys kind of cruise through. It's usually just door installation, final touch-up, which should not take 2 guys 8 hours to do. It should be like a half-day job for sure. So our total is $57.55.40. Now, we have budgets that auto-populate off of that number. So for that total, our hours budget at $65 an hour would be 88.54 hours. Right, so 2 guys, 40 hours for a week, 80 hours. Labor budget based on those hours would be $25.89.93. So we take that total times 45% of the project. So we're expecting to pay 45% on labor. Materials, we're expecting to pay 15% of that total. Okay, so this $863.31 is our materials budget for this project. Now our actual hours were 80 compared to our budgeted hours, which is 88.54. So we came in a little under. Our actual labor cost, this is, when we build this out, this is all of our costs. So direct and indirect. So we have our employers' taxes, and then our workers' comp included in that total. Okay, so 2547.36 versus 2589.93. All right, so we're pretty close on that. Actual material cost 724.27 versus 863.31. We have our commission is 345.32. So our estimator just gets 6% off the top on every project. He does no base pay, just commission only. So that, that's a pretty decent paycheck, right, for one project. And he might sell 5 of those or 10 of those in a week. And it just works out for us, works out for him. And that job for him, like he makes his own hours. I mean, he'll do weekends sometimes, not weekends sometimes, take 3 days off in a row sometimes. It's really up to him. I mean, he can do as much or as little as he wants. So our gross profit is 2302.16. Now we build that at 40%. So no matter what, we're going to make 40% on the project as long as there's money in the budget. If there's not, then it's a problem. That number is at 40%. We're happy with that. I'm happy to just take my 40% and walk away. Now, that means we have 181.61 cents left over. So everything got paid, materials are paid. We get our 40% profit out of the project. We have 181.61 left. That gets bonused to the employees, to the painters. So lead painter on this one was Nacho. Even though they both work the same amount of hours, Nacho carries responsibility. Nacho's doing more spraying. Nacho's picking up materials sometimes. So they're both going to get 50% on this bonus. But first, right off the top, Nacho's going to get 20% extra, right? So he'll get 20% right off the top of that bonus. And then they're going to split the rest. So he's going to get 36.32. And then they're each going to get 72.64. All right, so he'll end up with 108.97, and second will line up with 72.64. And so this project, $5,700 job, we make $2,300. I know some guys that I read about are like, oh, I want 60%, 70%. I would charge 10 grand for that kitchen cabinet set all day, blah, blah, blah. Right? This is like real life. Our numbers are real life. We do a ton of projects. We do like 500 projects a year. We're all above board. We have workers' comp. We pay employer taxes, our liability insurance, everything. Front to back, completely covered. We have a salesperson. I'm not on job sites. Like, this is how it works, right? We do a couple $1,000,000 a year in business, and this is a smooth project. Like, I'm not getting rich off of this, but $2,300 on that project times 4 or 5 of them a week, it's good money. We're making a good living. We stay busy year round, right? Like, sure, I bet I could sell that project, I don't know, maybe 1 out of 10 for 10 grand, make double the money. Or I could sell 4 or 5 out of 10 and be smooth sailing, right? It's easy. It's a fair price. It's not overcharged. Still not cheap. Almost $6,000 to repaint your cabinets. But this is also not a huge kitchen cabinet set, right? We've got 2 sides here, basically. So the price is good, and it works for us. It makes sense for our numbers. But we're not trying to rip anyone off. This is a fair price for high quality work. We're doing full primer. We're doing 2K polyurethane. We're 100% stand behind our work. If this customer calls us back in a month, even in a year, like, we'll go out and do touch-ups. We have money in our budget to break away from a project, go do touch-ups on their kitchen set. It's not a big deal for us, and it's great for them. So this is just how we build out our pricing. This is how we do our job costing. This is how we do our bonuses. So a project like this is clean. These numbers are really clean. I'll have some where it's not. And so these guys are going to get their regular pay plus an extra 108 plus an extra $72. And it might not seem like a lot, but you do 3 or 4 of those bonuses a month, and $600 to $700. You're paying for a car payment or insurance or whatever. Works out to be decent extra money. So stay tuned. I will put some more of these together. This is just the first of many, but we'll keep it going.